Right, I think we're live, but without music because I couldn't get it to work. I don't know why. Um, where is it? Ah, okay. Okay, I can see stuff. Let me see if I can pull up the chat so that I can see it while I'm streaming. It's been a busy day today, and I've been sick, so apologies for the coughing. I'll do my best not to cough directly into the mic. Where's my YouTube channel? There it is. Let me mute that. Okay, so that's working. Nice. And I'm just going to assume Twitch is working. And where's the multi-stream chat? Yo, yo. Ah, that's working. Okay. Ah, still really stretched. Why is that? Let me see if I can fix that real quick. Where's the chat box? If I unlock it and stretch it. And then do like something like something. No, it's still like really stretched. Okay, we'll deal with it for today. So all good. Hey, what's up, Mary Ellen? How you doing? Good to see you. First message apart from my spam was from you, so all good. Today's going to be a good stream, I think. Whoa. Like 1 month of having this heavy cough that I can't get rid of is has been rough. So let's see. Let's see how we get on. Hey, what's up? I don't know. My reading of kanji is terrible, so I can't pronounce your name, but good to see you in the chat. How you doing? All right, let's jump into a lab. Let me see how many labs we've got running. Only 9. Okay, so we've only got 9. So I'm gonna run our labs from here because we actually have like a lab limit of how many labs we can run at once, just so that the infrastructure doesn't slow down if we have too many people all at once. But today, because of the LinkedIn announcement, we had like a big influx of people, and then suddenly like loads of labs running all at once, and we nearly hit the lab cap. But luckily, I think we're all good for now. So if I need to, I will expand the infrastructure for the future. But I think today we're all good. Oh, still at the in-laws. Okay. Well, I hope you had a good Christmas and you'll have a good New Year as well. It's good to see you again. I feel like it's been a while since we caught up on like live stream, but yeah. All right. Well, excuse me. What lab are we gonna do first? Let's do the daily challenge, I think. And I'm gonna try and drink as much water as I can so that I don't die on stream. What's up, Shadowforge? Good to see you. I'm not watching Discord at all now, so hopefully. Oh, actually, somebody just got an achievement. Let me tag that. Nice. So if anything goes down, then I don't know. I'm not going to see it. So live stream time is like everything is muted. All right, let's take a look at this one. So this is today's lab. So I'm just going to copy this and then I'm just going to pull it over into Firefox. Oops. Ah, why can't I paste? Control C. Control V. There we go. And I've already got Kaido running. So actually, I wonder, since I'm streaming, maybe I can run it locally instead. Let me see. Yeah, what I'm going to do is actually, I'm just going to stop this. Let me stop. And then I think I'm already in here. Which lab is it today? This is all the local testing of all of the Bug-Forge labs that I have. Won't you run? Whoops. Let me try it again. I wonder actually if I need to install the packages. Let's do that first. It's always good if we have packages installed before running this. We need to go into sort. No. Where are we? Source. Client. Let me install the front end packages. I thought I'd done this already, but clearly not. So we'll give it a second and we'll be up. Hey, what's up, Paw? Good to see you. I'm Void Packet. And W2022. I already left TCM, but you might be getting confused with me and Heath, because Heath is also leaving TCM. I think his last day is Wednesday, and so he's doing like a live stream then, which I definitely will try and make. There we go. This is what we wanted. Finally, it works. Running things locally is so much different to running them on the app. Oh, is it actually going to work though? If not, we'll switch back. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. Let's sign up. Jeremy at jeremy.com. Just do password, and let's create the accounts. And I wonder if... There we go. I've got like a quick mute button, so if I need to cough, I can do it without deafening everyone. Let me see. For some, skip that part of the screen. Still, okay. So Void's gonna like doesn't want the spoilers for the weekly lab. Nice, that's all good. So I think this is today's lab, and something I added here was the gift cards. And so we're just going to look straight at the gift cards rather than looking in the rest of the app. And I think what we can do to begin with is just purchase some gift cards, and then you copy the code, and we get this code, right? So we've got Cafe A 2812 AANF. So if I copy this, and then maybe if I just go into 5, and if I just... I'm just going to copy this and then make this a little bit bigger. So this is one of our tokens. So that's cool. And if we paste it in here and redeem it, we know that it works. And then we can also test this in the checkout. So if we come to the shop, add something, and then proceed, we can like use the gift card balance available for this item instead of, you know, paying for it fully ourselves. So this is somewhere where we'd probably take a look at the application to make sure that we haven't got any issues. And then let's just continue through actually. And then we just put test, place the order, and then we can have a look at Kaido, and we can see like all of the post checkouts, the points to use, the use gift card false. Oh, I thought we did use the gift card. Maybe I didn't click it properly. It should have used it. How much value have I got? Oh, I've still got 25. Is that actually a bug? Oh yeah, so total paid 0. I don't know what happened, but post. Yeah, so you can see like we used the gift card here. So testing, like maybe setting this to true, even if we don't have a gift card, is probably a legit test. And we also want to test some other behavior. But I think today what we're looking at is if we create another gift card, you can see that actually it's pretty similar to the one that we already have. And I'm just going to create a bunch. So done, create. And if you're a bug bounty hunter, this is a very expensive way to test an application because you have to buy so many gift cards. But hopefully the company will give you like a test account where you can like get free cards or like do an easy refund or something like this. So the prefix is all the same. And this part is pretty obvious. I mean, obviously cafe is obvious, but 2812 is today's day. So this is like day, month. And I know some people do this crazy thing where they're like month, day, year, which makes no sense to me. It's either like smallest, medium, largest, or largest, medium, smallest makes complete sense. But going medium, smallest, largest, why would your date formatting be like that? That's it's crazy. I don't know why some people do it, but I'm happy to go either way as long as it's in order. Otherwise, like, everything's confusing. But here we have like this first letter is also the same. And the actual logic in the backend application is if it runs out of variations, it will then tick over to B. So the actual randomness of this is only 3 letters, 3 uppercase letters. So we could easily brute force this. And I think I did this already where... Yeah, I wrote this script, letters.py. Maybe I can just grab this. This is what I did to when I was testing it. So we've got letters equals string.ascii uppercase, A to Z, and then with open output file. So we're writing for the file for combo in product letters repeat as 3, and then we write. And then we're basically all done. There are other ways to do this, but itertools is probably the easiest way. But if you check out Pawpaw's video for this as well, he did it entirely in Kaido, which was pretty cool. So we'll have a look at that as well. So what we actually need to do is check out the redeem functionality, which I don't have here. So let's grab one of these. Let me just copy this and try and redeem this. And then we see this redeem request, and we'll take a quick look at this. So here, when we send this, we get, okay, we've already got this gift card. But what we actually want to do is brute force these 3. So, excuse me. So these 3 here. If my coughing's really loud, I'll make more of an effort to mute, so apologies for that. I don't know, like a month of sickness. I don't know what to do about it. I need some like heavy drugs, I think, to solve my ongoing cough. So we've got invalid gift card code, and actually the one before is kind of interesting. Notice here we get 404 on the response, and then when we do it before, we get 400 bad requests. So we get an error, you've already redeemed this card. And then if we create one and copy and then paste this into the request, send it, we get 200 OK. So this is what we're looking for. We actually want to look for 200 OK on other gift cards that we didn't create, basically. And hopefully that will give us the solution. So I'm going to send this to automate and come into here. And then we'll just make this a little bit wider like this. And then, right, so what did Pawpaw do? So he went matrix, and then did he add these individually? Like this? Yeah, this is what he did, I think. And then simple list. So we can do where's my caps lock? THIJKL LMNOPWXYZ, like this. This probably exists somewhere on my machine, but that's fine. And then, is that all you did? And you just ran that? Let's see. And when we run this, what we want to do is we want to use the HTTP QL. And this is one of the really powerful things that I like about Kaido. And one of the reasons I use Kaido over Burp Suite sometimes is I can just do response dot code is not equal to 404. So we don't want to see the 404s. And then you can see that it's filtering out. So or we could do equal to 404, and you can see we see all the 404s, or we can just see the 200s, or we can just see whatever we want. So the HTTP QL is really, really powerful. I don't think, no, I've messed up. You see, we've got payload 1. I haven't set this up properly. Do I need to, I need to select all of these. Yeah, this is it. I've messed up. Simple list. And let's run this. Let's close this one. So we've got payload 1, 2, and 3. And then we want the response dot code is not equal to 404. And there we can see we've found this gift card. We've already redeemed this one. So this is one that we've actually already created. Actually, that might have been the first, maybe the first request. Hello, Alpha. And the cat has come to say hello. And there we go. We can see a bunch more. Okay, so yeah, this is it. We didn't create this one. We can see if we copy this and come to here, you can see that it's not in our list. So AIAN. And we've actually redeemed it, and it was only 10, unfortunately, not 50. But if you do this on the platform, my face is in the way. Hold on. Top right. There we go. You get the flag here. So this is how you solve this lab. I think another way of doing it is if we just do let's do minus minus. Let's take these out. And the way I did this before, and then let's do simple list, load from file, and then home, Bugforge labs, labs, and then in here, I basically, this Python script here did all of the variations, and then we're good. So we can just run that. So 2 different like ways of doing it. And like say you can just do response.code is not equal to 404, and then we could wait for them. All right, let me catch up with the chat. So when I'm explaining, I'm not very good at reading chat at the same time. What's up? What's going on? What did I miss? Oh, I might switch to Kaido. Yeah, I think like between Burp Suite and Kaido, try both and see what you like. And they both have different like strengths and weaknesses. So I think it's good to kind of be flexible with tools. Yeah, like Burp Suite Scanner is still really good, and I still use that. But then, and also like the single packet attack or the race conditions, you basically need Burp Suite. But you know, there are other things that you can use Kaido for. I like Kaido that's a little lighter weight, and it's a little bit faster. And loading in large word lists doesn't just crash my machine, which is quite nice. I used the word list with Crunch and then used Fuff. Yeah, this is like this is a good approach. Very nice, very nice. All right, let me take a look, see how we're doing on here. Let's see. I can close this. And which one should we do next? Should we do another chill lab, and then we'll do the weekly lab? So let me close this. I also wanted to do Autogram, just for people who are just starting today and have never kind of like done any web hacking before, or like want kind of some insight into following the process. Then this is the way to go. So let me just install these dependencies real quick. we'll give that a second. Autogram. It's like my favorite lab. I also showed this one at B-sides as well. Where am I? Ah. Whoa, chill out, Alpha. She's wild today. I think she wants some food, that's why. Oh, something's already running on 3,000. Uh-oh. Ah. Let's see. You know what? I'm just going to run it from in here. It's the other lab and I should have closed it properly. Where am I? Let's just do this one. Okay. All right, let's pull Autogram into here. And let's sign up. All right, so we're going to sign up as Jeremy. Jeremy at jeremy.com. Jeremy password. And we'll sign in. All right. Let's see. Just checking in on Discord. Looks like nobody's broken anything, so we're all good. I'm just so worried that like everything's gonna fall over, but we're all good. So here on Autogram, like it has basic functionality. You can like stuff and you can Autos are cool, and you can post. If I can actually click. It's a little slow, but that's because there's loads of labs running. And also I'm live streaming. And then I think in here, yeah, we can edit our profile too. So let's do cats are cool too. And we save this. And we can also create posts as well. So we can like find pictures of... Oh, that's from... from Halloween. There we go, enter the grimoire. This was our Halloween lab for those that didn't see it. And if we come back, so we can see that everything is API driven. And I think what I would do is, so if you're kind of like new to testing, I would find all of the post and put requests and all of these main ones, like updating a profile, creating a post, and I would send these all to repeater. And these are what I would look at first. So this API post one comments, API post one like, the login and register. And these are all the things that I would look at, like just as I'm beginning. So 1 second, I'm gonna cough every. There we go. So if you're just starting out, you don't really know where to look in an application, I would say that like find the core functionality that is different to like other applications. So instead of just like get index, you want to be looking at like put API profile, post API post. So this is like creating a post, and you can see like this is an image. Maybe this accepts like SVG. Maybe we have like XXE, and just think about like what I have in front of me and what potential attack could work, and then try it. I would say like keep a running list of things that you want to try. Same when you see here. So this content is reflected back onto the application. So we get ID4 message, comment added successfully. You know, can we get XSS, for example, in these comments, because we can see that our input is reflected back onto the page. So that's like, I mean, I call it like threat modeling, but it's like, obviously when I say threat modeling, everybody thinks about Stride and all of that stuff. But for me, it's more like thinking about what you have in front of you and how you can use it to achieve some kind of impact. And I think this one, yeah, this is just post API post 1/like. But here we've got an ID. So this is kind of important. Every time we see an ID, broken access control, I think, is probably the biggest issue across pretty much all web applications in these days. I know there's a lot of issues, and that's kind of a big statement, but broken access control is something that we always find and is almost always pretty impactful. It's usually a big deal. And so for me, like, I think the top spot used to be like cross-site scripting, because cross-site scripting was literally everywhere, and it still is in a lot of places. But I think broken access control is more impactful than cross-site scripting most of the time. So here, what we can do is we can try and basically send the same thing. Instead of sending it ID number 4, which is us, we are ID number 4, we can just try sending it to 3, try sending it to 2, try sending it to 1. Obviously, if you're on a production target, if you're doing bug bounty, create a second user and target that user. Don't target normal users. But if we refresh, for example, and then come to Autolover, you can see that we actually updated Autolover's profile with Catacall2, and you get the flag for this. So this is how you find the flag. So here we've just got broken access control. It's a nice simple IDOR. This is actually not technically IDOR. It's baffler, broken function level authorization, because we're actually doing like a function rather than just reading an object. But who cares? Like, it's all the same thing at the end of the day. It's all broken access control. So all good. All right, that's lab number 2 done. Let's take a look at this weekly lab. How many people are running? Yeah, we're good. We're fine. I can see 11 people. I can see 4 people are working on this weekly lab at the moment. So if you want to work on it at the same time, then this is the way to go. All right, here we have for hire. All right, so this is kind of a tricky one. There's a few different steps, and you have to get your payload working really nicely. So whenever we come to an application like this, let me paste this in. Oops. If I can actually copy and paste. There we go. You can see that when we click these, we get 2 different registration pages. So one is for job seeker and one is for recruiter. So we first need a job seeker. So I'm just going to call this job seeker at, oops, can't type, seeker at jobseeker.com, and then this, and then their password can just be password. And we log in like this. And we can just do test 12. And obviously all of this we need to think about during our testing. And we get a nice little notification. And same with recruiter. Oh, dying. Recruiter.com, and then recruiter, and then password like this. And then we can just do, let's call it company 1. And our industry is going to be cybersecurity. Our description is just going to be test 1, 2, 3. And our location is going to be test 1, 2, 3. And here we're just going to do test as well, like this. And we create a company profile. So even so far, like, this is a lot of stuff to test. So you can see we've got sockets. You can see that we've got these posts to register here. So we need to test these. And we have this role as well. So here we might think about changing this to admin or administrator or some other privileged role. So we might be able to get like a privileged account. And then we've got this whole weird onboarding process. We get not modified, but if you see, you get this. And you get 304 not modified. If you take away the if none match header to stop the caching, you can see the full response. So if you get stuck with that, that's the header that you just need to take out, basically. All right, I can hear Elfie going wild in the background. Don't know what she wants, but I'll go see her in a minute. I did these on the same thing. I wonder if it's going to freak out. Yeah, I'm logged in as recruiter now, unfortunately, but that's fine. So here, what we're going to do is we're going to post a new job, and we're just going to call it test. And I'm going to... There we go. Let's call this Bugforge job 1 and some jobs. And we're just going to do jobs, full-time, 10 million treats per hour or something like this. And it's going to be like stealth flying and tricks. And then we post this job. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to here and I'm going to log in as our job seeker. So job seeker, and then I think the password was password. And if we browse jobs, we can see this Bugforge job 1, and we can apply to it. And I really want this role. Submit application. That's submitted. And then here we can see if we refresh, I think I probably would have gotten the toast notification, but I probably missed it. We have an applicant. So we can come down and you can see here. So the interesting thing about this app is when we accept this role, you can see that your application status has been updated to accepted, but that's quite a quick toast notification. And if you look in here, we get, where are we? So /API applications 5 status. If we send this again, you can see that this pops up again for the user. And this is being sent from the recruiter. So the recruiter sends this puts request to API applications 5 status. Maybe they can do it for other applications as well. I've not tested this, but there might be a broken access control issue there. Maybe an unintended bug. So if we do this, yeah, application not found or unauthorized, but that was definitely something that I'd probably miss out if I was building this application. So what we want to do is maybe we just change this to 1, 2, 3, 4, because here we have total control over this user's notifications. And if you just saw it in the corner, you could see that it said 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is like an input where we can directly deliver a payload to our victim, because we're the recruiter and the victim is getting the notifications. And it's kind of the same as like sending a mail, right? So if you type up a message and send it to somebody, they open it, they read it, your input is being rendered in their client. So that's the deal here. Now, usually we want to test this for XSS. So if we do something like image source equals X on error equals prompt like this, we can send this and we get blocked by WAF, so potential XSS detected. And we could do a little bit more testing here. So for example, if we take away the less than greater than, you can see that the application status successfully updated. So we didn't see it on here. Yeah, there we go. We can see it coming through. So this is kind of a weak WAF in terms of basically it's just filtering payloads that have less than greater than. And what we'll do is we'll use basically my favorite bypass and see if that works, which it will work because I built the lab. And all we're going to do is we're going to add an extra field in here called padding. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm going to copy this and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 100 A's. Copy this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 1,000 A's. Let's see what happens. You still get it? Okay, so if we grab this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We get XSS. So this is how we bypass the WAF. And if you're up against a cloud WAF like AWS or Akamai or something like that, this works quite often. Basically make your payloads big. And in this case, all we had to do is add like a load of padding with A's. And once they reach a certain size, for performance, it will just let your request pass through because it doesn't want to slow down the server. It doesn't want to be vulnerable to denial of service. So this is kind of like probably the easiest and most common effective WAF bypass. And if you didn't check it out, Shubs' talk at NahamCon, I think last year, he demoed this, and then he has got a plugin called No WAF Please for Burp Suite that basically does the same thing. I'm not sure if there's a similar plugin for Kaido. Not yet. Maybe somebody can port it across. It wouldn't be too tricky to build, but yeah. So this is how we bypass the WAF, and we've also achieved cross-site scripting against our target. Now, if we take a look at our user, and all I'm going to do is just come into here. So something that I think is underused is the dev tools. And if we come into the dev tools, we can actually see that in local storage, we do have a token here. So we have this. We can see that we have username, job seeker, etc., etc. But this is used by React. So this is like the, actually this isn't React, this is just EJS. But this is used by the front-end application to figure out what to display to you. So this is kind of useless to us. We don't need this. If there is like an underlying issue, we could just copy this and make it up, but it's not like a JSON web token. If we come into cookies, however, we can see that we actually have the token. This is a JSON web token, so we can grab this and just inspect it. JWT analyzer, JWT decoder, paste, decode, and you can see that ID6, username is job seeker, our role is user, and the issued at time, IAT. So the problem here is that this flag here is HTTP only. So we can't steal this cookie with cross-site scripting. How do I view this? Oh my God. This is like really difficult to demo. There we go. This HTTP only. JavaScript can't access this cookie. So there's no way we can steal this. But there might be other things we can do with the target accounts. So for example, if we go to here, we can see that there's a change password field. But in here, you can see that it doesn't need the current password. And even if it did, sometimes if you forward a user to a page, for example, and wait like half a second, sometimes the autofill will just fill in the password for you anyway. And so this is like this is our second thing to look at. And of course, if there are CSRF tokens, then we also need to steal those, which we can do with XSS, and we can build like a whole session routing attack. But in this case, it's relatively straightforward. So what we want to do is, instead of this, the payload that I used to solve this was exactly the same. Image source equals X, and then on error equals like this. Hey, what's up, Gadasek? How you doing? Good to see you in the chat. Let me take a break for a second, see what's happening in the chat. Paul says there's a workflow for the WAF bypass. Wait, how do I see? Oh, just hit workspaces. You can see all my current bug bounty targets. Here we are, workflows. See, I've only done my own workflows. I haven't actually used any of the what's it called, like community provided ones. So I'll check that out for sure. But yeah, it's good to know that there's like a no WAF please workflow plugin thing in Kaido. Super helpful. So we want to do on error, and then in here we want to put our payload, and I already prepared one so that I'm not spending forever to what's it called, like troubleshooting. So I'm just going to copy it out, and so it's basically just fetch like this, and then we want to do a fetch to the update password. So if we come to here and come to let's come in here and just pop this open again and come to network, and then we just do password. You can obviously do this in your proxy, but this is what we want. And then if we go into headers, if you route this traffic through Kaido, I'm not doing it because I've got the other account on here. I should use the multi-containers, but I don't know why it's not pinned to my bar. But anyway, we're posting to API/profile/password. So this is the endpoint that we want to target. And so let's come into here. Yeah, you can still see. Let me get rid of this this stuff. API profile password like this, and then we want something like method. What method is it? I think it's a put request. Puts, and then we want headers. Excuse me. Headers, and we want content type application /JSON without a capital A, and then we want our body. And if I like split this up onto multiple lines, it's probably like easier to see. Like here we are. And then yeah, body like this. And I keep adding random spaces. JSON.stringify, and then we want in here in these quotes, and we want new password to be password. So like I say, I already have this like payload figured out, so I'm not just like it's not all just coming out of my memory. But this looks correct to me. So this is basically, whoops, that's there. That closes this. And then where did we open? And this closes the fetch here. So these brackets basically, do you guys call them brackets or something else, whatever they're called, work. And then the whole thing, the problem we've got is that we need to deliver it inside of quotes. And so we're going to have to do it like this. Oops. Quotes. Why did you do that? So we've got a quote here at the start, and then we need another quote here at the end. But wait, where are we? Source. We need to close this one like this. And then we need to escape this one. And the reason for that is, it'll make sense once I put this into Kaido. Like this. So because we need to keep the JSON in Kaido, so our status, and then we need this double quote, that means we need to escape the quotes, the double quotes that we've got in here. So image source equals X, on error equals escape quote fetch API profile password. Our method is put, our headers is content type application JSON. And then our body, I think I've made a mistake here. Yeah, so I need to close this here. And then, why have I put body twice? Body, JSON, .stringify. New password is password. So, and let's change this to like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so that we actually know that it has worked. So if we send this, and then we come back to this user, and if I can remember, it was a job seeker. Yes, so we've managed to update this person's password, and you can see that we've got this status here that we sent to them. So this was actually our payload. Now, to solve the lab, all we need to do is the same thing, but against the automated user. So you'll see if you opened a job application, you'll see that you got an application from Jeremy, and this is the user that you want to attack. Oh, doing good. How about me? Yeah, I've been sick for so long, like a month. So I'm doing okay, but I'm just coughing all the time. Vibe coding my full stack project for uni. Nice. What do you think is a good backend to learn that adds up with my web app API testing knowledge? I would say like these days, I pretty much do everything in Node and Express. It's nice and fast, and it seems to be like a preferred tech stack for a lot of new companies. So jumping on the Node bandwagon is the way to go. What is the body in the headers you added? Oh yeah, that was just a mistake. That's me with a typo. So we can take this, and then actually so with Jeremy, we'll accept his application, and then we'll come to HTTP history, try and find it in there. No, that's the get. Post. Puts, that's what we want. So this is the status accepted. Let's grab all of this, including our WAF bypass. Paste that in, and then send this to Jeremy. So hopefully Jeremy's account will be updated. Now there is a little trick to this in that for about 1 second, Jeremy is not on his dashboard. And so if your payload doesn't work straight away, as usual, against automated users and things like that, you need to test a few different times. So let's just try Jeremy. But for 59 seconds out of 60, he's on his dashboard and he will receive the notification, and then you log in and you get the flag. So this is the weekly lab. Building up this payload is a little trickier than I just showed, because I just like copied the payload that I wrote before. But I would say that like you can slowly test. You can get like a fetch request working, and then you can test it against like the account you created, and then you can do the profile, the password updates, and then you can copy that as like a fetch request. Or you can copy it as like curl and then convert it, however you want to do it. There's a bunch of different ways, whatever way you prefer to do it. And then if we submit this flag, I've already submitted it, but I already scored points for this lab. So there we go. That's the weekly lab. I hope that makes sense. You see that we've actually got 5 solves on this, which is pretty nice. So Pawpaw was the first. Is there a video? Did you do a video for this one as well, Pawpaw? Or is it just Cafe Club? Let me check Discord. I don't see a video for the weekly lab yet, but I'm sure it's incoming. And I think Pawpaw's payload was a little bit different to mine, but that's all good. There's probably a ton of different ways to solve this lab, so all good. Do I recommend Kaido? I've seen a lot of plugins. Yeah, I would say for me, like I'm kind of waiting for Portswigger to release Burp Suite 2.0 because it's so heavy, and like trying to load in a big word list or even try and like the decoder on Burp Suite, why has that not been updated in 1,000 years? And it's easy to say, oh yeah, just use Hackverter, you know, add it in, but it shouldn't be a plugin. It should be like part of the core. And also for me, like creating plugins for Burp Suite is a real pain, and especially like where your request is and like where like the way it flows through the different things within Burp Suite and the whole architecture of it just blows my mind, and I find it really hard to work with. But there are some really good things. Like I still really like Turbo Intruder, and I still really like the groups requests. I still really like Burp Suite Scanner, for example. So Burp Suite has a bunch of powerful features. So I'm kind of like switching between the two. But for general testing and in terms of like a more chill and understandable UI and something that's more lightweight and that doesn't just crash when you try and load in a big word list, Kaido's pretty nice. So this is my like general stances. They're both good at different things. But I'm just doing more Kaido stuff because I find it a little bit easier to interact with on a day-to-day basis. Burp Suite's just a little too heavy for me, unfortunately. And, you know, everybody who knows me knows that I hate Java. So this is like, I'm biased against anything that's written in Java. Cool. How are we doing for time? I'll bring it for an hour. Let's do another lab. So let me see if we got space on the app to run more labs. Yeah, we're fine. We're not quite at capacity. So let me come back to here and then which one was I going to do? Yeah, I was going to do this one. Sokudo 001. I also noticed a bug this morning. If you run a lab and click it really fast, it doesn't actually update the traffic router in time, and you just get 404 bad gateway, but I'll fix that at some point. Oh, Papa said I'll be working on the video for the weekly today. Nice, nice. That sounds good. I should give it like an hour to learn everything with Kaido. Is there a full video on it? I can't remember who. Somebody did a talk at DEF CON, did like a really good dive, and I couldn't catch it live, unfortunately. But it's probably worth checking out the Bug Bounty Village talk on Kaido. That's pretty good, but otherwise it's pretty intuitive. I'm sure there are some videos there. I mean, there are some videos that I made a little while ago which kind of go over the basics, but like there's been so many updates since then, a lot of stuff has changed. All right, so let's go in jeremy.com. So start. So this is Sokudo, which is like a speed typing test. We do 15 seconds of oh no. There we go. Wait, why is it not ending? And I was way faster than 64. That's really annoying. Let me try once again. To live is the best thing in the world. It's because it's not long enough, I think. I don't know. Anyway, the game is buggy, but it's like I'm usually at like 80, 85, not 65. And yeah, anyway, whatever. So we can come into stats. We can see our best WPM, our average WPM, and we've got Jeremy, Speed Typer, and Learner. And that's about it. There is a really easy way to cheat the game, actually. And what we need to do is we need to pull it over to here so we can pull it into Kaido. And let me just log back in. Recommended resources to learn Node and Express. I think I sent one to my friends the other day. I think it was JavaScript one though. I'm trying to remember. Because like, for me, I kind of learned Node just by doing. Basically, I didn't really follow a course. I probably would do if I was starting out, but yeah. I don't have any good resources off the top of my head, unfortunately. All right, so we've got some stuff to look at. So we've got post login, we've got /API stats, and then if we complete a session, it should update our stats. Let's do another quick session while we've got Kaido. Everything has... Oh, can't spell beauty, but not everyone sees it. Everything H. Okay, I'm getting slower. Wonderful. And then we can view our stats, or we can go back. We can go to dashboard. Okay. So this is our history. And then we've got the leaderboard. And then we've got /API stats. So this is giving us not modified. So we can just remove this header. And then, yeah, this gives us all of our stats. And then we've got post, submit. So we can actually cheat the whole game here. This is kind of like a unintended bug, but if you just change the elapsed time and then send it. Yeah, our WPM is now 708. It's a client-side game, so it's like, it makes sense that you can just cheat. And then if we come back to our stats, yeah, our best WPM, 708. That's quite fast. But I think the bug here is in API stats. So if we look through the whole application, something that's on my checklist of things that I always check is hidden endpoints. And you can do this by either looking through like the front end code. So we could, you know, come in, there's probably some good plugins that do this, but if we come into debugger and yeah, so you can see we've got /API/login, /register, stats, session start, session submits. You can find like interesting endpoints that the front end is using. Obviously, like if the application actually uses it, you're going to see it in Kaido. But sometimes there'll be functionality that's hidden in the front end that's either old or maybe is new and they haven't released yet. And you'll be able to find the API endpoints that are associated with it, even though like it's not officially like released yet, that functionality. So this is always something that's worth checking, is have a look what URLs are basically in the front end code. And you can also do something like kite runner and fuzz for URL for URL endpoints, sorry, for API endpoints, and then also testing HTTP verbs. So in this case, I think if I recall, what we can do is we can actually, let's actually try delete first. And you'll see that we get 404 not found. But if we try put, we get 400 bad request. And so in this case, we get an error, we get no valid fields to update. Because we've got this, we'd probably discover this through fuzzing rather than just manual testing. But because we've got this error, it means the endpoint exists. It just means that we've sent it the wrong data or something like this, or we've sent it something that it doesn't understand. So if we come back to here, we can go puts, and then what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to copy this object that we get back from the general request, and then we can just click send and see what happens. And there's a problem here And this is something that catches lots of people out, including myself sometimes. And that is we're sending it JSON and we haven't told it that we're sending it JSON. And even though we're accepting application JSON, we haven't said what our payload is. And so usually I just drop this underneath like the cookie or the authorization header, and we just do content. And we had to do this with our XSS payload. Whoops. Application JSON like this. And then we get stats successfully updated and we get the flag. So here we can update our best WPM to like, let's say 1337 and send this. And then if we come back to stats on the app, hopefully, did we break the app? Yeah, our WPM is 1337. So this is like a broken access control in the endpoint. We shouldn't just be able to edit our stats manually, but also it's like a hidden endpoint. So the front end doesn't use this put request at all. We had to find it. So this is how basically this lab works. So yeah, so Popo, yeah, this is who I was thinking of. I actually have no idea how to say this name. Rhinerator. It's Rhinerator, Rhinerator. Obviously, they're quite famous in the world of bug bounty, but I don't know how to say the name exactly. But yeah, they've done a bunch of videos on Kaido, so this is the person you need to search for sure. All right, and I think that's it for today's live stream, unless you guys have any questions. It was nice to do a couple of the like fundamentals, or like I tag them as easy, but like to me, I'm more like they're just building fundamental skills. That's the main point, is like is to be able to look through an application, find something quirky and exploit it. And then the weekly labs are more like challenges where you have to jump through a few different hoops within the app to be able to find the flag. But it was very nice to be streaming again. Sorry for the hiatus. Like I say, I've just been really like ill for the last month, but you know, everything will get better hopefully in the new year, and looking forward to spending time with you all on Bugforge, because I've put hundreds of hours into this project, and it's really nice to see today. So this morning, over the last 3 months, I've had a lot of support from like Pawpaw and Beef and Void Packet and Shadowforge. So shout out to those guys for really helping out. And then we've got some regulars like Darktooth and Wolfgang and Aimbot who have been working hard on the labs. But yeah, I can't remember what my point was. Yeah, we've put like, or at least I have put hundreds of hours into this project so far. And we went from 80 users this morning to like 250. I think we're on now, 255. So really appreciate everybody signing up, and hopefully you enjoy the challenges. There's lots of new labs coming, so it's all good. All right, take care everybody, and I will catch you